Welcome, yogis, to this gentle yoga practice. I'm going to sit in a chair, but you could certainly sit cross-legged on the floor. Gather all the props that you have. If you have an extra rolled up yoga mat, fantastic, a strap, a block, you name it. And let's get started here. So if you're feeling a little kind of keyed up, turn the palms down. That tends to be more grounding. If you're feeling very open and receptive, you might turn the palms up. And you can even bring your thumb and index finger to touch. This is Jnana Mudra, connecting us to our highest wisdom. Sense into your two sitting bones and see if you can create the quality of sama, or evenness, between left and right. And allow your spine to be like the stem of a lotus, lifting the blossom of your heart up out of the water, out of the watery basin of the pelvis. And begin to connect to your breath. Every day is new. Every day we're different. Just notice how it feels inside today. And then open up your eyes and bring your arms alongside you. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, bring the arms back down. Breathing in, the arms reach out and up. Breathing out, the arms come back down. One more of those. Breathe in and breathe out. Reach the arms up. Clasp a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, and you'll side bend off to your right. Just finding a gentle stretch through the left side. And then come back through center and switch and find a side bend off to the left. Good. Come back through center, take your hands to your knees, and on your inhale, move the chest forward, shoulders back. And exhale, let the spine round as you come into cat pose. Breathing in, you open up the front of the spine. And breathing out, you open up the back of the spine. So see if you can sense the back body engaging here on the inhale, and the front body engaging on the exhale. And keep going like that a few more times. Good, and then you may want to take your feet a little bit wider, and you'll begin to make some circles here. And these could be really small, or they could be pretty big. But you're still going through those two shapes of cow and cat as you make your way around this circle. Switch directions if you haven't done so already. Beautiful. And then take your arms out wide. Really stretch the chest open as much as you can. And bring your right arm over your left until it can't go any farther. Either you'll clasp opposite shoulders like you were giving yourself a hug, or you'll come into your eagle arms. Take a deep breath in here. And on your exhale, bow forward and take giant breaths into the upper back between the shoulder blades. Come on back up. Take the arms out wide, stretch the chest, and bring the left arm over the right. Clasping opposite shoulders or finding your eagle arms. Deep inhale, and then exhale, rounding forward. Good. And come on back up. So come on up off of your chair and take it to the top of the mat. And you could certainly do down dog without a chair if you prefer. But I'll do it with the chair. Hands are going to come onto the chair back, and I'm going to take my feet back as wide as the yoga mat, bending my knees and focusing on finding length through the spine. So I'm attempting to lift my sitting bones and to really lengthen from tail to crown. Good. And then step in, bring your right toes between the chair seat and step your left leg back into a lunge. Powerful pose for opening up the front of the hip. If you're able to tolerate being on the toes, great. If that doesn't work for your toes, you could step the foot in. But assuming you're on your toes, the hips will square forward, and you'll work to bring the pelvis as upright as possible. So you've got lots of core support, and we're focusing on opening the front of the hip rather than being what T.S. Little calls a disc dumper and dumping into the lumbar spine. Hands can stay on the chair, or the arms can reach up, or just one arm could reach up. See how your balance feels. And then bring your hands to the chair and step your left foot up to meet your right. Good. Second side, step the right leg back. Working again to lift the pubis bone and to drop the tail down. Reaching the arms overhead if your balance feels really steady. If this feels like too much in your lower back, you can come farther forward with the torso. Bring your hands to the chair back and press back into downward facing dog. Only this time take your feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees or straighten the legs depending on how you feel. Good. And then come on up and let's turn the chair seat to face us. So stand tall and using your core without leaning back, see if you can lift the right leg up and step the right foot on the chair. Belly's working, the low ribs are in. From here, reach both arms up, inhale, and on your exhale, you'll open up into a twist. Right outer hip is dropping towards the floor, so the right waist stays long. And it's okay if the left hip comes slightly forward. We can let the whole body be a part of the twist from foot to crown. Good, look forward, reach the arms up, and bring the right foot and the arms back down. Second side, using your hip flexors, lift the left knee up, set the foot in the chair. Inhale, reach the arms up. So you do want your two hips to be level here. So if your left hip tried to buddy up with the left armpit, drop it down, deep inhale, And on your exhale, you'll open up into a twist. Shoulders out of the ears, collarbones broad. Beautiful. And come on back up and release. Okay, so you'll bring the chair to the middle of the mat. You may not want the chair. I'm going to use it. Take your feet about one leg's length apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift the crown of your head. And then exhale, come halfway forward. And you could rest your forearms on the chair. If you're pretty open in this direction, you don't need the chair, and you could just bring your hands down to the floor. But we're working to keep the spine neutral here rather than to let it round. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come on back up. And just shake out the legs for a moment. Okay, so now we'll take the legs even wider. You'll pivot your right toes out, and you'll bend the right knee over the ankle until we find our way into Warrior Two, settling your gaze over the right finger and breathing. Take 4 more breaths. See if you can keep the mind in the experience for another 3 breaths. One more. Relax the arms, straighten the leg, and we'll switch sides. Bending your left knee over the ankle and opening the arms into Warrior Two. Back leg is strong and straight. Finding 2 more deep breaths. Beautiful. Relax the arms, straighten the leg, heel toe the feet together, and come back to your chair. Or you could take double pigeon sitting down or full pigeon. I'm going to show it in the chair because it's such a great stretch. You'll take your right ankle to your left knee and you'll bring your hands to the chair seat as you lift the chest. Take a deep breath in, and if you feel like there's more space in there and you want to fold forward, you can, or you can just stay upright. You can even turn a little bit to your left and fold out on a diagonal. And then you'll come back and switch. So you'll bring your left ankle onto the right knee and sit up tall, maybe folding forward, maybe not. Wonderful. Come on up, and you can set the chair off to the side, and you'll come down onto your backs, and this is where you'll want to grab the extra rolled up yoga mat, or you could roll up the one that you have. And you'll place it long ways. And you could start it right at the level of the belly button, or you could start it underneath the rib cage. Arms can come out wide to a T, and if you find that your chin sort of juts up to the ceiling, you could support the head with a folded blanket. If having the arms out to a T is too much, then just bring them closer alongside the body. And if you like, you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open wide. Bring your arms alongside your thighs, draw the knees together, and you'll roll off onto your side, scooting the roll out of the way and coming back onto your back. Loop your strap around the base of the right toes and stretch your right leg up to the ceiling. You can keep your left knee bent or straighten it out. And then release and switch sides. Looping the strap around the left foot, maybe straightening the right leg out, maybe keeping it bent. Do whatever you did on the first side. Beautiful. You'll release that. And from here, walk your legs off to the right and walk your upper body off to the right until you find your way into the shape of a banana, or sometimes this is called supine crescent. You'll come back through center, walk the legs off to the left, walk the upper body off to the left, second side. Good. Come back through center. You can grab your extra yoga mat or a block, and you'll slide it underneath your sacrum. Stretch your left leg out long and hug your right knee into your chest. Hug your left knee into your chest. Stretch your right leg out long. Keep your right toes and your right knee pointing up to the ceiling, but beyond the effort it takes to do that, relax as much as possible. Good. Bend both knees, scoot the block or the roll out of the way, and hug your knees into your chest. Cactus the arms, or you could take them to a T, and you'll let your knees come to the left and enjoy the twist here. And then you'll come back through center. Let the knees come to the right. The gaze can come to the left. Good. Come back through center, and it's time for Shavasana. If you like, you can place your chair on your mat and just rest your calves on the chair, which is a lovely way to let the low back release. From here, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Hug your knees into your chest and roll over onto your side, bringing yourself up into any seated position that works for you. And come back to where we started. Palms facing up or the palms facing down. Maybe you have the mudra that you used at the beginning, thumb and index finger to touch. And notice what's shifted inside of you. You've moved the spine in all its range of motion. Notice the effect of that. Notice if you feel a little more space inside, a little more life inside, a little more breath. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.